Hello everyone, welcome to Form 1. To start with, let's have our first chapter called Director Number and Number 9. By definition, director number is a number carries a positive or a negative value or negative sign. For example, 4 is a director number, negative 4 is a director number, negative 8, negative 0.4, or like 11. They are all director number. Now, may I ask you a question? Do you think that 0 is a positive or negative number? Sorry, it's not positive nor negative number. 0 does not carry a sign. In our daily life, we always see director number. The easiest one, of course, is about temperature. For example, in North Pole, it's always below 0. So we have like negative 34 degrees Celsius, negative 40 degrees Celsius. And besides, when you start studying geography, when we talk about the height of a mountain or you want to describe about the sea, we always use director number to say above sea level or below sea level. When you grow up, you always have gain or lose money. So that's why we always use negative number to represent that we lose money in our life. To arrange the director numbers in a proper order, we always use number 9 to represent them. We first draw a horizontal line with the arrow pointing to the right hand side. This arrow means that the numbers are getting larger. For example, let's start with 0. Towards the arrow, we have the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. On the other side, the numbers are getting smaller with negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, etc. Now you finish number 9. Well done. Next, by using this number 9, we can compare the magnitude of the numbers. For example, you can see that negative 4 is on the left side of 2. So that's why we say negative 4 is less than 2. Next, you see that 5 is on the right of negative 3. So we also write negative 3 less than 5. On the contrary, you can also write as 2 greater than negative 4 or 5 greater than negative 3. It's easy, right? Next, let's have a challenge. What if I ask you, you want to compare the size of the number negative 3.5 and 2.1? I give you 5 seconds to do so. Time's up. If you understand the meaning of number 9, you can see that negative 3.5 should be right between negative 4 and negative 3, whereas 2.1 should be a little bit on the right side of 2. You see that 2.1 is on the right hand side of negative 3.5, so that's why it should be less than. Similarly, can you use 3 seconds to complete the following question? How about negative 3.5 and the number negative 1.1? 3 seconds this time. 1, 2, 3. First, we have already got negative 3.5. For negative 1.1, it should be a little bit smaller than negative 1. So this one is on the right hand side. So that means negative 1.1 should be greater than negative 3.5. Or we write as negative 3.5 is less than negative 1.1. Shall we have the final challenge? Yes, I think you will accept it. How about negative 2.3 and negative 3.3? The answer should be greater than this time. So I hope you understand the idea of number 9, and now we can arrange the numbers in different order. We have 2 special terms to note or to learn. One is called ascending order, that means from small to large. For example, we can have the number like negative 4, less than negative 1, less than 2, less than 5, less than 10. This is called ascending order. Whereas descending order, it will be the opposite of ascending order. For example, we have 5 greater than 2, greater than negative 1, greater than negative 4, greater than negative 8, then it is called descending order. Besides helping us to compare the sizes of the numbers, Number 9 will be very useful when we are doing calculation. For example, you won't see a question 2 minus 5 in primary school. But now coming to Form 1, then you have to do it. So what do you mean by 2 minus 5? It can be understood as you are starting from 2. Minus 5 means that you are going backward. That means moving to the left-hand side by 1 step, 2 steps, 3, 4, and 5. So that's why you reach the answer is negative 3. If we have addition like negative 7 plus 4, then we are moving to the right-hand side because the numbers are getting larger. The calculation will be like we start from negative 7, and then we add 1 step, 2 steps, 3, and 4. So that's why we also reach the same answer of negative 3. So basically, number 9 will be helping us to do subtraction, which is moving to the left-hand side, and addition, which is moving to the right-hand side. Now, shall we try 2 questions on each type to see whether you understand it? So first of all, let's start with subtraction on the top. What if we have a question like 3 minus 6, and another question is called negative 1 minus 5? Let's take 10 seconds to do that. Time's up, so let's see how we can do it. For the first question, we start from 3, so that's why we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's why we also get the same answer called negative 3. Where for the last one called negative 1 minus 5, we start from minus 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the answer will be negative 6. So I think you basically manage it, right? So how about we now look at addition? Maybe 2 more questions once again. How about we have negative 6 plus 2, whereas the other question will be negative 5 plus 8. Another 10 seconds for you. Ready? Let's start. Okay, time's up. So let's look at the first one. Negative 6, we have 1, 2, so that's why it's negative 4. Whereas for the last one, starting from negative 5, we have plus 8, so that's why 1 step, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we reach the answer of 3. Is it okay to you? Well done. You'll find that number 9 is very good for us to understand the addition and subtraction of directed numbers. But do you find that it's very troublesome? Should there be any ways or skills that can help us to do the calculation mentally? Yes, of course. Rule number 1. Let's observe the following. Can you tell me what's the result of 8 minus 5? 3. Continue. 10 minus 4? 6. 11 minus 7? 4. 12 minus 8? 4. Last one, 13 minus simply 2? 11. And we observe that when we have the calculation of 5 minus 8, it will be equal to negative 3. 4 minus 10, it will be equal to negative 6. 7 minus 11 is negative 4. 8 minus 12 equal to negative 4. And lastly, 2 minus 13 is a negative 11. If you wonder how we can get it, I repeat, would you please go back to number 9 and draw the 9 to help you to do the calculation. But now, in this page, I would like to emphasize that, can you see that there are some similarity between the values? When you compare the left and right side, you will see that the same number, 3, 6, 4, 4, 11, 11, they are repeated. So that means whatever you are doing 8 minus 5 or 5 minus 8, they are giving you the same number called 3. The only difference is if you find that 8 is a larger one minus a smaller one, which is 5, you get a positive 3. if you have a smaller number 5 minus a bigger number 8, and you have a negative result. Complicated, right? So let me demonstrate you how to do the calculation. For example, if you have a question called 4 minus 8, it's a smaller number minus a larger number, right? Then you know it should be a negative number. So how shall we get the answer without using a number line would be, can you do the calculation 8 minus 4 by yourselves? I wish you don't need to have a column form. Would you please do it mentally and tell me loudly what is the value? Yes, it's equal to 4. So that's why the answer is 4 with the negative sign, because I repeat, it's a smaller number 4 minus a larger number 8, so it should be negative. Next, how about another question like 6 minus 11? Once again, it's a smaller one minus a larger one. But in our calculation, we will think like it's 11 minus 6 first. With column form, or you do it mentally, it's equal to 5. And finally, the answer is negative 5. It's very clear, right? Now, let's try 5 questions yourself and see whether you can grasp the idea. Ready? Let's start. 4 minus 11, 5 minus like 10, 6 minus 12, 7 minus 10, and lastly 8 minus 15. Let's try them by using 10 seconds. Time's up. So now we come to the calculation. You remember that all of them will be using a smaller number minus a larger number. So that's why all of them, they will give you a negative number. Next, what you should do should be doing 11 minus 4, 10 minus 5, 12 minus 6, 10 minus 7, and lastly 15 minus 8. And then if you complete all the answers, and you should have negative 7, negative 5, negative 6, negative 3, and finally negative 7. This is rule number 1. Next, we come to rule number 2. It's pretty easy one. So because we are just switching the number. Switching, that means you change your position. Everyone knows what's the value of 4 minus 1, right? So it's equal to 3. How about another question like negative 1 plus 4? So you have to remember, when we are doing addition and subtraction, you can switch the order. So that means it can change to 4 minus 1, so which gives you a 3. Next, so the similar idea would be like, everyone should know 15 minus 4 is equal to 11. So when you have a question called negative 4 plus 15, so we first change it into 15 minus 4, and finally give you 11. Next, the same practice. Now I give you 4 questions. Would you please use maybe 8 seconds to complete that? Ready? Let's start. Negative 2 plus 11. How about negative 3 plus 14, negative 4 plus 20, and negative 5 plus 21. Oh, I forget to count the time. So let's check the answer directly. The first one should be 11 minus 2, which gives you a 9. Next one, 14 minus 3, equal to 11. Third one is 20 minus 4, which gives you 16. And lastly, 21 minus 5 should be 16 as well. Easier, right? Now we come to the next one, harder one. Last one is pretty difficult because it concerns about 2 negative numbers. But like rule number 1, let's start with observation first. Baby question, 1 plus 4, 2 plus 3, 3 plus 5, and then 4 plus 8. So can you tell me the answers? They should be equal to 5, 5, 8, and 12. Now I put negative sign and negative sign to all numbers. That means, what if we have a question of negative 1 minus 4, negative 2 minus 3, negative 3 minus 5, negative 4 minus 8. If you can do it, you do it by yourselves. If you can't, remember to draw the number 9 and do the calculations. At last, you will find that the first one gives you negative 5, next negative 5, negative 8, and the last one is negative 12. Once again, I would like you to do comparison between the left side and the right side. What can you see? Can you see that both questions give you the same number like 5 and 5, 8 and lastly 12 and 12? The only difference is if you have a positive number add up together, positive number add up together, the outcome or the results should be positive. But if you have negative, then the result should be negative. By using this observation, now you can do the calculation as follows. For example, like if we have negative 4 minus minus 11 this time, so what should we do will be, forget about the negative sign. So you just look at 4 plus 11, then it's equal to 15. So which means the answer should be, let's write down 15 first. And because both of them, they're negative, so the result should be negative. If you have like minus 7 minus 3, so we also forget about the negative sign. We have 7 and 3 and add them together, which gives you a 10. And that's why the outcome is negative 10. You need to take more time to understand this idea and practice it. But anyway, challenge comes. Now I will be giving you 5 questions, and hopefully this time you take a long time, 20 seconds to complete that. Okay, let's warm up and let's start. Easier one first, negative 1 minus 2, negative 2 minus 8, negative 3 minus 17. Oh, sorry, the number may be too big for you. How about we rub away this one and give you another one, like minus 4. Negative 4 minus, should be harder, negative 16, minus 16, and negative 5 minus 11 finally. 20 seconds time, you count the time. But I will start like 5 seconds afterward. Dun dun, time's up. And so each question, you remember to forget about the negative sign. You are just doing 1 plus 2, 2 plus 8, 3 plus 4, 4 plus 16, and also this is 5 plus 11. So that's why it gives you 3, 10, 7, 20, and 16 finally. Finally, because you are talking about negative number, minus and minus, so that's why all of them, they carry a negative sign. And you finish all the question correctly. Perfect.